Ilya Muromets' genetic experiment, or Extraterrestrial. On one of those evenings when Moscow trembled beneath the heavy tread of time and a fog hung over the garden ring like the breath of an ancient god, an old parchment, inscribed by an unknown hand, fell into my possession. The ink on it seemed to seep like living blood, and the letters whispered, Ilya Muromets was not a man. My heart froze, for in those words lay not mere heresy, but a secret capable of overturning everything we've come to accept as truth about the Russian Bogatyrs. Who was he, really? The holy protector of the Russian land, celebrated in saints' lives and epic songs, or something else entirely, born not in a cradle, but in a laboratory hidden behind the veil of centuries? What if Ilya Muromets was the product of a genetic experiment conceived not by humans, but by beings whose understanding of life surpasses ours 100-fold? Or perhaps he came to us from distant stars, cloaked in human flesh, to guard not merely a principality, but the very soul of a people. In this article, we'll journey through myths, chronicles, and mysterious archaeological discoveries to unravel who truly stood behind the fearsome name of Ilya Muromets, a man, a god, or something in between. Let's begin with what most of us know about Ilya Muromets, from the Bellini, where he appears as a mighty warrior who sat on his stove for 30 years before rising to defend Rus against Nightingale the robber, Tsar Kалin, and other monsters. But few ever wonder why exactly 30 years? Why not 25 or 35? And why a stove? In ancient Russian culture, the stove was not merely a place for cooking. It was a symbol of the womb, the maternal embrace from which new strength is born. Could it be that Ilya wasn't ill, as we've been taught since childhood, but undergoing some kind of transformation? Recall that after he rose, his strength became superhuman. He effortlessly lifted stones that dozens of men couldn't budge and fought enemies whose size and power defied earthly comprehension. Isn't that a sign that something far greater than simple recovery was happening within his body? Historians claim Ilya Muromets was a real historical figure and even point to the relics in the Kiev Pechersk Lavra as proof. Yet when scientists analyzed those remains, they found something strange. The bones were unusually massive, the skull was of enlarged volume, and marks on the spine suggested this man possessed physical strength far beyond that of an average warrior of his time. Moreover, DNA extracted from the remains revealed genetic markers not found in any known human population. How is that possible? Could we be looking at the result of ancient genetic intervention? After all, if you think about it, legends across many world cultures feature heroes with extraordinary abilities born not from ordinary unions between man and woman, but from unions with celestial forces. The Greeks had Heracles, son of Zeus. The Hindus had Krishna, an incarnation of Vishnu. The Slavs had Ilya Muromets, whose strength seemed to descend from the heavens. But what if those celestial forces weren't gods at all, but representatives of another civilization? Imagine this. In the distant past, when cities didn't exist yet and people lived in forests and steppes, visitors from space arrived on Earth. They didn't come with fire and sword, but with observation and experimentation. Perhaps they were searching for a planet suitable for an experiment, the creation of a being capable of surviving the harshest conditions while still preserving reason and soul. And right here in Rus, they found what they sought, a people hardened by cold, hunger, and war, yet never losing faith in goodness. So they chose one of the locals, or perhaps created him anew, and endowed him with strength beyond human measure. Ilya Muromets became not just a warrior, but a bridge between worlds, a guardian of balance. His feats weren't merely battles against bandits, they were struggles against forces threatening the very fabric of reality. Nightingale the robber, whose whistle could topple cities. Doesn't that sound like advanced technology disguised as myth? And Tsar Kалin, shrouded in darkness and magic, could he not be a projection of an alien ruler attempting to seize Earth? In this article, we'll journey through myths, chronicles, and mysterious archaeological discoveries to unravel who truly stood behind the fearsome name of Ilya Muromets, a man, a god, or something in between. Imagine this. In the distant past, when cities didn't yet exist and people lived in forests and steppes, visitors from space arrived on Earth. They didn't come with fire and sword, but with observation and experimentation. Perhaps they were searching for a planet suitable for an experiment, the creation of a being capable of surviving the harshest conditions while still preserving reason and soul. And right here in Rus, they found what they sought, a people hardened by cold, hunger, and war, yet never losing faith in goodness. So they chose one of the locals, or perhaps created him anew, and endowed him with strength beyond human measure. Ilya Muromets became not just a warrior, but a bridge between worlds, a guardian of balance. His feats weren't merely battles against bandits, they were struggles against forces threatening the very fabric of reality. Nightingale the robber, whose whistle could topple cities, doesn't that sound like advanced technology disguised as myth? And Tsar Khalid, shrouded in darkness and magic, could he not be a projection of an alien ruler attempting to seize Earth? Some researchers point to strange coincidences in the geography of Ilya's exploits. All his battles took place along so-called lines of power, energetic meridians of the Earth that modern esotericists call ley lines. These lines intersect at places where temples, fortresses, and sacred springs were later built. Could it be that Ilya deliberately moved along these routes, protecting the planet's energetic nodes from invasion? Remember how he repeatedly saved Kiev? Not just a capital city, but a spiritual center situated at the crossing of several such lines. And in other cultures too, there are heroes tied to places of power. Arthur and Avalon, Gilgamesh and the Sacred Mountains. This can't be mere coincidence. More likely, it points to a global program implemented by highly advanced civilizations with the goal of preserving Earth as a unique laboratory of mind and spirit. There's another theory, less fantastical, yet no less intriguing. What if Ilya Muromets was the result of an ancient genetic experiment conducted not by aliens, but by humans themselves? Consider that in ancient Rus, secret societies of volks, priests, existed possessing knowledge now lost to us. They understood not only herbs and stars, but also the secrets of body and spirit. Perhaps, witnessing the decline of humankind, they decided to create a new Adam, a warrior capable of standing against chaos. To do so, they used not only prayers, but methods we'd now call bioengineering. Those 30 years on the stove weren't illness, but an incubation period during which his body was rebuilt under the influence of special potions, rituals, and possibly even extraterrestrial technologies inherited from older civilizations. Recall how the Bellini say Ilya was healed by wanderers, not mere passers-by, but messengers possessing secret knowledge. Who were they really? Angels? Extraterrestrials? Or simply keepers of ancient science? Interestingly, in Orthodox tradition, Ilya Muromets is canonized as a saint. The Church recognizes him not only as a hero, but as a servant of God. Yet even in hagiographies, strange details appear. For instance, it said he could foresee the future, heal the sick with a single glance, and calm the elements. Aren't these signs that he possessed abilities beyond those of an ordinary human? Moreover, in iconography, Ilya is often depicted with a halo, not golden like most saints, but blue, the color of sky and cosmos. Isn't that a symbol of his otherworldly nature? In the ancient Russian worldview, the sky wasn't just a dome overhead, it was a gateway to another realm from which came those destined to alter the course of history. And if Ilya truly came from there, his mission wasn't only to protect the land, but to remind people, you are not alone in the universe, and your soul matters more than you think. But let's return to facts. Archaeologists have repeatedly uncovered on the territory of ancient Rus artifacts that defy explanation. Metal discs with unknown symbols, crystals emitting faint energy, and skulls of unusual shape. One such skull, found near Murom, had a volume nearly a third larger than that of a modern human and exhibited perfectly symmetrical structure. scientists still can't explain whose it was. What if these aren't the remains of just one Ilya, but of an entire lineage of such beings? The Bellini mention other Bogatyrs with extraordinary abilities: Dobrynya Nikitich, Alyosha Popovich. Could they too have been part of a single project, an elite of protectors created to maintain planetary balance? And if so, where are they now? Did they vanish with the fall of Kiev, or simply retreat into the shadows, waiting for a time when their help would be needed once more? Today, in the age of genetic engineering and space exploration, we're beginning to understand that the boundaries of the possible are far wider than our ancestors imagined. We can already edit DNA, create artificial intelligence, and send probes beyond the solar system. But have you ever wondered whether someone might have done all this long before us? Whether ancient myths aren't just fables, but real memories of events that occurred thousands of years ago? Ilya Muromets may be the key to unlocking this great mystery. He isn't just a hero of folk epic, he's a symbol of humanity's potential for something far greater than it appears. Within each of us burns a spark capable of becoming flame if only we believe in ourselves and in the existence of something greater beyond our understanding. So don't dismiss legends as childish tales. Truth hides within them, veiled perhaps, but real. Read the Bellini, study ancient chronicles, delve into archaeology and genetics. Perhaps one day you'll find that very parchment which opens the door to the past and reveals who truly stood behind Ilya Muromets: God, an alien, or the Earth itself, deciding to create its own protector. And remember, every great journey begins with a single step, and every great mystery with a single question. Ask yourself today, what if it's all true?